So Jeff, thank you for joining. Could start things off. I don't know, do you want to play some, I know you and Joe had some records. Do you want to start with some music?
Sure. Excuse me.
Because we got folks still trickling in, so we'll just let.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite albums is this one. Actually, anything by Janelle Kiabe is kind of my go-to. That's kind of where I started listening to her records. Hi, Keith. But I like this one because it has her regular steel player, Benny Rogers. Sebastian plays nice Benny Rogers style. And but it also features Joe Castino, which was I think this is the only recording that I know of that Joe Castino's on with Janelle.
And is that the famous session where Benny Rogers walked out?
That's what I heard, yeah.
Alan told me about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's neat to hear the contrasting styles, you know, and it's all Joe Castino has sort of that jazzier chordal style.
Alan also told me that Genoa insisted that it was Benny Rogers through the whole album.
Oh yeah.
And he finally stopped trying to argue with her about it.
Oh, you mean she afterwards or later on she insisted? Oh, okay.
Insisted.
Yeah.
Jim, what's the story of him him running out of the studio?
Oh, I didn't get exactly the full story about it, but you know,
Yeah.
they had a blow up.
Benny was a little sensitive, I guess, about something, but
yeah.
So yeah, the album starts off with Joe Castino. Can you guys hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
We're actually playing the vinyl, so I can't stop it. Yeah, when I was starting out, I studied that record a lot because I could. Benny Rogers is kind of, he repeats a lot of the sort of the same motifs, and a lot of his vamps are similar. So I guess I could latch on to that easier when I was starting out. But Joe Castino, Joe Castino, I didn't know what he was doing. I thought that was so cool. I just couldn't put my head around it until much later. Yes.
Was that the Hulas of Hawaii?
Yeah.
Album, which I don't think is available anymore, except on vinyl, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What year is that one, Jeff?
They had a CD version out. The CD version is interesting because it sounds like they took it from the master tapes and didn't add any reverb to it. So it's kind of cool to hear the dry take.
Uh-huh.
This is sort of has the 1960 or 1970s. No, this would be 1967, I think. It's kind of heavy on the reverb.
Was Benny also using the D major tuning?
Benny, I'm not sure. Maybe.
I specifically asked Alan about that, and he's really studied it. Of course, he played with Genoa for a long time, so he kind of studied the Benny Rogers stuff, and he was convinced it was C13 because he said there are a lot of the open string licks that he tried to copy. That even though a lot of the literature you see around says that it was the Rogers family D6 tuning, but he said it was. He thinks it's C13.
Yeah, I think you're right because a few times in the recording he brushes the whole tuning, and you can hear the 13th in there. So,
and he also thinks that he did some stuff in an E tuning as well. So, anyway, that's what I caught this week because I chatted with him about it.
But on this one, what tuning is Joe Castino using?
Joe Castino is using C13 and I think a little of E13, the Jules RC E13. Can't remember now. I don't think I heard any of the B11 in this album. Yeah, mostly the C13. But see, what
is there a specific name for that groove or beat?
That
it seems like there's I hear a lot of tuning. If there's a name for that.
Yeah, there's it patterns itself after that ipu or the gourd beat, right? Ute, 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 ute. Yeah. Originally, I think it was referred to as the pueo strum because they use it on that the song Naka Pueo. Yeah, I've heard it referred to as a pueo strum, the olapa strum.
How do you spell that first one?
Pueo, which is the word for owl, because the song is about a ship called the Owl. But let's see, how does it go? Let's go on. That's all. Nowadays, people just refer to it as a double strum.
And Jeff, who's the bassist on that recording?
This is Violet Pahu Lilikoi.
Is she also on the Party Hulas album?
Yeah, she's on just about all of Genoa's albums.
Okay.
Except for very few.
The bass is totally holding it down. It's totally feeling.
Yeah, she's a swinger.
Yeah, it sounds like gut strings with like crazy high action and just like she's just got the hook and it sounds like that hook and pull style of like not slapping but like really popping the string.
I remember seeing her. She had an old K bass. She was playing Weed Whackers by then, but in the 60s, I don't know, were people playing Weed Whackers in the 60s?
I think they're playing a lot of Golden Spirals, maybe, I don't know.
Probably guts, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. How old have you been when you started steel guitar?
I was about 20 years old. So 20 years old, yeah.
Kind
And
of a
you,
late start compared to most.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it wasn't until
I don't know. Maybe people start steel later. Maybe that's a common thing. You know, you start out, you play other instruments first, and then you come to steel.
I think it's really hard to start out steel without playing any other instrument. Also, when it comes to playbacks, how should you do playbacks with only with steel guitar? I think it's pretty hard.
I agree. There's like no context if you don't play something first, I think.
So Jeff, in terms of your learning process, how you picked up steel, I mean, I think I maybe heard you tell the story about hearing Bobby in at the airport or something, or like being drawn to that. But your process for learning, did you just learn from just study record after record after record kind of thing, or was it did you have kind of more formal approach to learning the steel?
Yeah, it was record after record, I guess. Well, when I first started out, I got the steel guitar, and let's see, let me think. I had no clue how to get the strings to stop sustaining, whether you had to mute with the right hand, or I think I was completely lifting the bar off the string on the left hand. Yeah, so I wasn't getting too far that way. And then about half a year later, I met Bobby by chance. He was seeing his niece off at the airport. She's going to college. Yeah, that was before September 11th, 2001. You could still party in the airport.
So was he playing and you heard him, or you?
Yeah, he was. He actually had his tricone with him in the terminal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I just started gravitating towards that. I was standing looking over his shoulder, and I think he asked me, "Oh, you like Hawaiian music?" Something like that. I told him what I was listening to, and I told him I was listening to Janelle Kiawe, and he started playing the Janelle Kiawe, the vamps on her records, and I was just blown away.
That's great.
And it was always C6 tuning how you started, or did you start with something else? Or
yeah, it was always C6 when I was starting up. How did I arrive at C6? I had a friend in high school. His brother had a steel guitar. I think he showed me that C6 tuning. And then Bobby, of course, was playing. I don't think Bobby was playing the high G at that time. He was playing the. Well, I don't know. I wasn't really aware at that time, I guess, but I don't think he was playing the high G.
Were you exposed to Hawaiian music as a kid, like before 20? Were those songs in your head already before you started playing steel?
Yeah, a lot of them were familiar. Yeah, just hearing them around on records and at parties and whatnot. Yeah.
So were you playing guitar on any of those songs, or ukulele, or bass, or?
Ukulele I had been playing since second grade. In Hawaii, most schools have a ukulele program that starts around second or third grade.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, so after meeting Bobby he invited me to his place. He had some records to show me, and he sent me home with a lot of tapes and records. The Benny Rogers stuff, Sons of Hawaii. Uh, yeah.
So
And actually,
you
Jeff, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mikia.
Well, I was just going to ask about the tuning when you said you kind of settled on C6, and I was thinking about like early Hawaiian music. It seems like kind of like A major, the high bass A was like king for a while, along with like C sharp minor. And then, but now it seems like C13 or some variation of C6 is really like the dominant tuning, or the most common tuning, at least I hear on records. Of course, like Billy Hulen played A6, and I'm sure plenty of others did, but do you have a sense of why C6 caught on so much and why it seems to be so prevalent? What advantages do you think it has over other tunings, or is it a register thing or key? Who knows? I mean, just kind of curious why A6 or A bass tunings kind of fell out of fashion.
Well, for me, it's a lot easier to move around on the C6. Just faster to play scale type things. And I guess you can get fuller chords. You have the minors there. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'd imagine Jerry Bird has something to do with it. Maybe, I don't know.
But I mean, as opposed to like if you have an A6 tuning versus a C6 tuning, I mean, they both have pretty similar intervals. Obviously, the top string is different, or it depends on how, if you tune like Bobby or something. But is there something particular about that register, or that just having things in C, or a lot of like open string usage for common songs, or is it just like once you get used to something, you kind of stick with it?
Well, I guess a lot of Hawaiian musicians only play in C and F and G.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I had always heard that C6 was kind of more complementary to the vocal range of most singers. And like, like in Western swing, depending on if you got someone like Tex Williams, you might want an A6 or something that's centered more low. But I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that C6 was just kind of like more, you're like in a complementary area of the steel for vocal. And then, you've got the spread of notes and different things that you can do with, but it just, it's more vocal friendly or something. So who knows?
It really depends on the vocalist, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely, I think that tunings definitely dictate certain keys that are really nice. For example, if you have like I play a high bass, and so the keys that are really great are A, are G, and F. It's very common. And I don't know, maybe it was also like, I think what's the great thing with the A high bass tuning, that you get really nice dominant 7 chords. You have like split bar stuff and whatever, and they sound really nice and really pure in this A high bass. And I think it's gonna be difficult to get exactly these voicings with the C tuning. Also, I think like sometimes you have this really pure major sound that you never get with the C6, in a way that always you can slightly hear a little bit of the 6 in it and stuff like that. So
even with using the C6 tuning, that's something I actually try to avoid, really laying into that 6th sound. That's personal preference, but like I think there's something beautiful about those just straight major chords. So I try to use the 6 to get around, but I try to avoid it as far as strumming across
Yeah.
all the strings.
There's also talking about Dick McIntyre. Sometimes he plays like E, like a straight E tuning, or maybe E7th or whatever. But it's so pure sounding. It's so powerful in a way. There's nothing in its way. You just have this fifth on top. So I think it's very unique sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I also back before the pandemic played in a country band, and we played some Western swing stuff, and that just a lot of that stuff was in E, a lot of it was in F, E, F, A, and they just fit really nicely in the A6 tuning. So I was always using A6 stuff for particularly the Western swing. But yeah, the Hawaiian stuff still feels the mid-century Hawaiian stuff feels better in C6 than A6, I think.
And Jim, do you use the E on top, or do you put a G on top like A6?
I've always just kept the E on top. I tried it with the G on top, but it was just too shrill on just about every guitar I played, and I just didn't care for it. So sorry, Bobby, but I'm trying to learn it. It also seems more a little bit more old school to play it with the E on top.
What gauge high G were you using?
I don't know. I'm sure I fattened it up as much as I could, but
like a 15?
I don't know. 24. No, I don't remember what it was, but
speaking of A6, this is one of my favorite albums. Billy Hewland. He's playing a pedal guitar on this one, but most of the stuff is A6. I mean, that's his primary tuning. I think he uses the pedals just to flat the what would it be? To get a B11.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to play this? Yeah, it's all right on, buddy. Yeah, I work that thing.
Get your DJ working.
This is Joseph. This is his house. Number, let's see, A6. Oh yeah, number 2. 2 on side 1. This is the canoe song.
Freezing in Hawaii.
Yeah. Had the same feeling.
Oh.
Anyways,
Beautiful.
So good.
yeah. I've always felt like his tone on this album, playing that Fender pedal, sounds like a fry pan to me. It's almost like he was still chasing that tone when he moved over to the pedal guitar.
It was a Fender 400 or?
I think so. Yeah.
What was the tune he was using? Like, was that his like 13 flat 9 one?
Yeah, at that time, I'm not sure what he had on the bottom.
His tones, I could listen to that solo like a million times in a row. Just that was an amazing solo.
Yeah, he played a lot of really exciting stuff. Never played the same thing twice.
Wow.
Did your parents ever go listen to that kind of stuff when, before you were around? Did they go listen to that stuff?
I don't think so. No, they not. I never asked them about that. Yeah, I don't know.
That he's got this like his like left hand vibrato sounds like so crazy, but it's like still so precise. Like he's still like super in tune and getting through it, like nailing everything. But there's like this like, I don't know, like some kind of energy in the sound. It almost feels like it's gonna fall apart like at any point, but he's just like so in control. Whereas like somebody like Jules, maybe I don't hear it as much, or David Kelly, there's certain kind of like real purity, real like, maybe it's the left hand thing, just not having a left hand, but there's something kind of amazing about his playing. It really sounds on the verge of like, is he going to get through this thing, or what, how's it going to work? There's that live with Pua Almeida. And there's I'm blanking on the name of the tune. It's a kind of real like funky tune. And he takes this like insane solo. What is this? What tune is that one? I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll play it later. But I like it. I think it's also must be on the pedal guitar too. But just like this crazy single note thing, you just wouldn't think is possible. Let's see if I can look this thing up.
So Jeff, I think I remember you saying that some of your vibrato, which I think you're the best in town as far as vibrato goes. I think, didn't you say that comes from playing the cello when you were growing up?
I think that helped a lot. Sort of getting the concept of vibrato that I played the cello in high school.
Yeah. In the marching band?
Yeah. But,
and do you play with pedal? I think Joe said something like you guys set up a guitar with pedals and stuff. So are you fooling around with pedals in the moment, or?
I bought this. Well, you can see it. Turning the whole table. There's a pedal. This Fender 1000. I got it on eBay 15 years ago, I think. $400 including shipping. That was like when people, and not everybody had caught on to eBay yet, I guess. But yeah, I fooled around with it a little bit. There we go. But then I just put it in storage for the last 10 years or so. Oh, was that you?
So you forced it on Joe.
Yeah, it's too big for my place.
Is it very heavy as well?
Yeah, I think it weighs like. Oh gosh. Mikia, what would you say? It weighs about 65 pounds, Feels about
So, yeah, sounds about right.
Feels about
Kind of
right.
like a Honda Civic, a little less.
Yeah.
I had a Emmons at home, a double neck, and it was really breaking my back. It was like just carrying it around. I just thought, no way you're gonna do it. It's like twice as heavy as a twin reverb or something, or a Marshall stack or something. It was crazy.
I want to get one of those Sierras, like the one that Vance Terry played, that had like those like whatever the huge like
Brad's Rack.
Yeah, what the hell? Those things are crazy. I think those things weigh like maybe 100 pounds.
Still wondering how to set it up. We've just been using it to get different necks, different tunings, but we've been thinking we should contact Basil, get his co-pedant.
He's got it on one of the pages. It's there.
Yeah.
Or I think if you Google it, he's got a whole like dissertation on that tuning. Jeff, can I ask a real like obvious musical question? But it'd just be interesting to hear you talk about it.
Sure.
Like so, in that example, when we heard Billy Hewland taking a solo and he's kind of using chordal kind of shout chorusy kind of solos type stuff, but also maybe single line stuff too. Like, what's your approach to soloing and improvisation? And did you work on it, or was it just kind of trial by fire? You just kind of did it as you went on the gig, or did you like? What did you do to work on that, or what is your approach, thoughts, etc.?
Well, I try to play the melody as much as I can. That's and in Hawaii, it's kind of forced on you because to a Hawaiian audience, if you don't play the melody, it kind of shows that you don't know the song or you can't play it. You always try to play something pretty close to the melody first, and then if you get a second solo, then you can take off. But yeah. So my approach has always been to start with the melody first and then sort of embellish it from there.
And this is more, do you have any improvisational concepts like scales or stuff, or is it more arpeggio based, or is it chord based, or what do you normally do?
I guess a little of both. Yeah, sometimes I just run over the scale until I get lost and try to land on a chord tone, I guess, to find my way back. But, yeah, it does help to play another instrument before picking up the steel, because I'm always trying to think of what chord I'm at in the song. I guess that's helps me find my way. I mean, I think most musicians do that.
What are chords, Jeff? But so do you have like it's like similar to what what Nick was asking, but I'm curious, like when you look at the fingerboard, at least for me, like when I sit down and play steel, it's always just like I look at it, I'm like, where the hell is it's every time you play it, there's always like, especially if you're changing tunings or even on one neck changing tunings or switching between necks. It's not like, obviously piano I can barely play, but it's like it's really easy to find the notes. There's not really any question about where things are. But for steel, do you have a way to organize the fingerboard or the fretboard? Have you like systematically kind of gone through every region of the guitar, mapped out inversions, or is it, or do you have something like some kind of magic trick that you've found to find out where everything is?
Yeah, the piano was actually my first instrument. I was forced to take lessons as a kid, but steel seems so much easier because every key on the piano looks different, right? Mm-hmm. Steel, you can just move it up or down the fret. So when I started, I I was pretty much just moving around the main straight bar chord position. Like even playing the key of C, then I just stay around the 12th fret. So knowing the scale centered around the 12th fret, try to play melodies just using that. And then later on, I discovered I guess sort of I think of it as a secondary position. There's a C around, I guess it would be around the 7th fret with the C on the E string. And I kind of move around there. But just those two positions. See, how else do I think of it? Yeah, just using those two positions. If I can grab a harmony underneath the melody, then I'll grab it if it's available. That's pretty much how I approach it.
Is your main guitar still the fry pan, or I think you played a double 8-string, right? Last time I saw you.
Yeah, I had I have a Duo Pro that I was playing for a couple of years. Bill Kreller refurbished it and then passed it to Bobby Ngano, who passed it on to me. But yeah, I got this fry pan for Christmas, so I've been going back to the fry pan again. I miss playing an instrument that you don't have to fight. Fenders.
This Christmas?
Yeah, I got it.
Nice. Good Christmas.
Seriously,
What year is it?
I think it's a 35, I think.
Wow. Do you mind playing a little bit of it?
No, not at all.
What about tilting the camera at all so we can see
Sure.
your beautiful hands?
Oh, maybe I just move back. How's that? These
Not too much anymore.
picks. Where did I put my picks?
Picks? They're right here. Coffee cup.
Oh, Jesus.
Get your bar. Here, I guess I could just hold this. Try
We
some-
are playing through Joseph's brand new custom. What is that? A ball
amplification there. Maybe.
ball amplification. Do you guys know about that? Oh, did I just shut it off?
Let's retry that.
Oh, good.
You're still there.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Camera is pin. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, we just opened all of Joseph's porn sites. What are
Oops. Are we still on Zoom?
Yeah, you're good.
turned off?
There we go. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, this is my first 7-string. Right. Let's have it tuned C13. What can we play? Joseph, you want to back me up?
Sure. Megan? Switch your spots in.
I just moved back.
Move back, I guess.
Another cold front.
Um, mm. Jim, what's a good song to play? But, you know.
I'm not going to help.
Let's see, huh?
Forget.
Oh no, no, no. Let's go Nalani. Yeah.
E flat.
We're doing this. I'm doing B flat. C. So C's good.
Okay. I can try.
Too early. Going up.
Need more coffee, babe.
Water.
Yeah.
Great.
Amazing.
Yeah, beautiful, Jeff.
Sorry, guys. Early.
Jeff.
Cool, yeah.
But,
So what is that
I
amp?
almost didn't. It's I think the circuitry is the Fender 5E3. Is that the
Box.
Princeton? That's a deluxe.
It's three deluxe, yeah.
5E3, that's it, right here,
Yeah.
which I have over here.
It's
But
actually it's a really good amp for steel guitar. I have the feeling it's like it has a nice slight distortion that it's so hard to get with normal Fender amps in a way, like Blackface or whatnot. So I think they sound pretty, pretty old schoolish, pretty good.
Have any of you played through the apps that were the old Rickenbacker apps that were sold with the fry pans?
Say it again.
Yes.
Have any of you played through one of those amps, the old Rickenbacker? I've always been curious how that
Yeah,
pairs
they're
up
great.
with.
And those old Oahu's are great too with the field coil speakers. Incredible.
I played the original Volutone at Retro Fret, where also Mikia was at a certain time, I heard.
Oh God.
It's like the story is still it's an amazing story. But this Volutone sounded fantastic. It was crazy good. And I really regret that I didn't bought it at that time.
It wasn't the old comb and tissue paper sounding Volutone like the real early ones. You listen to somebody like Bob Dunn.
Yeah, it was actually it was the one that also Cherry Bird used. Exact the same model.
that from the 50s? Or from
It's actually from the 30s.
was that early?
Yeah, it's one of the first electric amps ever.
Wow.
And didn't Jerry use what are they called? The M15? Is that what they're called? They're from the Rickenbacker amps from the 50s, I think. Is that right?
Jim?
Ooh, yummy.
Like that guy.
Show us more, Jim.
Both Jeff and Nikita have played through this one. I know Jeff liked this old Vega.
That's a really good amp, yeah.
I
Yeah.
restored that one, and yeah, late 40s for the Vega.
Does that also have a field coil speaker?
I don't remember. Actually, I think the Vega has a. I'll have to look it up. I had to trace out the circuitry and stuff myself, but I don't remember if it was one of the early permanent magnet ones or it was a field coil.
Jim, what's Rosie's favorite amp?
None of them, pretty much.
No.
Although she's not too bad about them. This is Rosie, by the way. She mostly sleeps these days.
Play another tune. I'll be the heckler.
Actually, Jeff, could you demonstrate or show us maybe a difference between like how Pua Almeida might have played versus like Joe Costino or like Jules Leslie? I don't know, like something that, or at least the way you interpret their playing, something that you think is special about each of those guys.
Pua Almeida had a lot of the single note, like really assertive attack. You can hear like kind of pop with every note. And then Jules and Joe Costino, sort of the more chordal approach. Although Jules had that really nice aggressive single note too. I don't know if I can play like any of them, but shucks. Joseph, why don't you jump on guitar again?
Huh? Oh, shit. Okay. Easy, it's still early.
Yeah, Jules had that really precise muting on the right hand, which I'll probably be chasing until I die. I've never been able to. I don't know if I don't have enough flesh on my right hand or what, but I just can't get the muting precise like that. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always one odd string ringing. Hmm. Can we play? Any suggestions, anyone? I'm blank. I almost didn't. Should I tell him I almost didn't make the meeting?
Yeah.
I'm doing a slower version along.
Ualike.
Okay. Yeah, that's slow. I can play that.
And you do that in E flat, don't you?
Okay, we can do it E flat, yeah.
No, I mean, isn't that normally where you play it? Because that's where you sing it.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can sort of go. You can go lower, you can go high in E flat.
Oh.
In C6, anyways. The rhythm guitar is not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Love that one.
Jeff, I know you sing beautifully in Hawaiian and sing so many of these great tunes. Do you have advice for folks like many of us who don't speak Hawaiian, but want to connect more with the songs and not, like you're saying earlier, not forget the melody and like what the what the meaning of the song is? When it comes to even playing instrumentally on steel, that's what I mean to say.
Playing instrumentally. I guess don't put more. Don't put extra syllables in there. Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I put extra syllables in there all the time. Yeah, I don't know. What is the story that they tell about Jerry Bird saying, "Don't play beyond the reef, not beyond yon the reef, something like that." Yeah.
Is that something that when you're playing instrumentally, are you very much aware, like hearing the melody and the words in your head as you play?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I'm thinking of the words. Yeah. Sorry. What was the original question?
Well, there was just like, I can't remember which tune it was, but it was a song that was sung in Hawaiian. And I was like, okay, I found the lyrics online. I didn't know what it meant though, but I like wrote it out to see if I could like imagine what the syllables were. But it's just so hard if you're not fluent in the language it's like listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something I think that gets lost in the translation, and
You're talking about singing then, or?
Well, just no, like if you're playing like the melody of a song, like instrumentally on steel, but the melody is sung in Hawaiian. and trying, and if I'm not fluent, like I'm going to try to approximate what I remember from a recording, but since I don't know what the actual words are, you know, you're going to say stuff like beyond the reef or whatever, you know, butcher it.
Or even just knowing the stories to the songs, you know, is like
Yeah.
totally lost. It's like a whole element that's like not even there for me, you know, or anybody who doesn't speak, you know. It's interesting. I mean, I remember, Jeff, when you came to Winchester, I mean, that just kind of seeing you and hearing you singing all the songs and hearing so much, because that was the second year that I had gone. The first year that I went, there was nobody sang except for like maybe a couple people. But then like when you came, it was like everybody was singing, and it just kind of blew my mind. It was like, wow, that there's this whole other thing that like it's like makes the music so deep, and it was completely lost on me.
Yeah, well, I guess if you know the meaning of the song, then it helps you to. You can just,
Emote.
yeah, emote. You can just appreciate the musical side to it too. Yeah, I don't know if I've never been able to get any sort of poetry out of a steel solos. I mean, you know, as far as the meaning of the lyrics, but
But even just having it like when I play, you know, like in my band when we play Hawaiian music, like they're just all instrumental, you know. Nothing's ever sung. You know.
Well, when I spent a decade and a half playing fiddle in a Cajun band and singing in a language I don't speak, so I'm a little bolder when it comes to singing in a language I don't speak. Guess I'd have no pride.
Yeah, you know, going back to I was saying that I always try to play the melody. Actually, if you listen to Genoa's records, Benny Rogers almost never plays the melody straight. I can't think of any recording that a lot of songs he'll come in with the steel first, but what's a familiar tune?
Where do you lose? Yeah, I got it over here. It's in one of these thousands of records.
Oh, just put this on.
Did you put it down or?
Let's see, what's the good one?
Oh, here we go. That's not quite good. Then just watch wait and see bonehead. I should go on the other one.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to know the meaning of the words. That adds another dimension to it. But as far as the steel guitar, I think it's just important to make the steel guitar pretty. That's the main thing. Yeah.
So your double neck, are you have B11th on the other neck, or are you have an E tuning on the other neck?
Right now, I have the David Kelly G11 on it. I know, Mikia, I saw a really pretty clip of you playing straight from Hawaii. Did you use that tuning?
No, I just know. I do like that tuning a lot. That's like my, it's like on my wish list. I have it on always like on one guitar. I love that tuning, but I didn't use that one. I think I don't remember what I was using.
You're getting a major 7th somehow. Yeah, this David Kinney G11 is sort of like a B11 with an extra interval on top.
Yeah.
But,
No, I use the the Joaquin Murphy tuning, where in C6 with a G on top and the low C is up to C sharp, and then he's got that major 7 on the bottom that's a half step below the 3rd string. So it's like a plain string at the bottom. But I tune it to A6 and F sharp. So it's like A6, F sharp 9 tuning.
okay.
It's like the Billy Hewlett tuning, but instead of the low G, I've got G sharp, a plain G sharp.
Instead of a low G, you got a G sharp. So that would be like in oh, that's would be like a C with a B, a C tuning with a B on the bottom. Is that...
Yeah, but with instead of a low C on your 7th string, it's a C sharp. It's kind of like you get B11. You're gonna have a B11 sound with the dominant 9 sound, and then you got your major 7s, and you have a 13 sound in there too.
Oh, I gotta try that.
But it's that's probably my favorite tuning now. But I might have used that one on that song. I'm not sure. But that's
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby just joined.
A heckler.
He's muted though.
Bobby, you're muted.
Just imagine what he's saying.
I know.
Oh, what's up?
Hey.
I was washing some clothes. So what's up, brother?
How's it, Bobby?
What? You back on the frying pan? Frying?
Yeah, I got one more string now. So
Kevin, right?
seven.
How did you come about getting the 7 string?
My buddy here got it for me for Christmas. I didn't even ask him.
Joseph did?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty nice.
Hey, that's how we do it. That's how we do it in Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
So I gave him some chocolates.
A fair trade.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, this G11 tuning is kind of neat. It's take the C. So you kind of have this, I guess it's like B11 on, let's see, where is it? It has extra, I'll give you a major 7. Good for songs like Mapuana.
That's a nice tuning for jazz.
thought Mikia was playing on that straight from Hawaii to you because it lays out pretty nicely in this tuning. Uh,
Sounds like David Gilly used that tuning too.
yeah, I think he was the first guy to.
Yeah. Somebody told me that David used that tuning.
Hmm? So you can use it to play sand, of course. Yeah. Mm.
So Jeff, when you're jumping between, sorry, cat. When you're jumping between these tunings, do you find that you try to learn everything, like all the melodies that you like to play on each of the tunings, or do you say like, okay, well, C6, that's my main tuning for melodies and stuff, and the other tunings are more like colors, or for a specific tune, like you're going to play sand, or like how'd you do or something, you might do B11 or something.
Yeah, I tried to. I guess I tried to use all the things that I can't get in the other tuning. I gotta catch myself though. Sometimes I fall back just playing the same stuff I would play in C6 on the other, playing it on the other tuning. Then it's just a waste, right? But yeah, so like if I'm using this tuning, I try to lay into the 9th chords. What is that? Is that a 13th? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice Jay-Z amp, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to hear more about that amp.
oh man.
It's made out of an actual old suitcase. Yeah.
Actually, it's the Jay-Z Costino, yeah. That's a nice amp, man.
I was at Auntie Nina Kelly Ivahamana's house. We were playing. I was backing her up for a memorial service, so we just did a little rehearsal at her building. She lives out in. She sold her home. She used to live out by Portlock, but she sold her home and lives in a high rise in Hawaii Kai. And in the middle of the rehearsal, she said, "Dear, come over to the window. I want to show you something." She pointed off in the distance about it was about 4 blocks away. She says, "You see that mango tree over there? Joe Castino planted that tree." That was interesting. Yeah, all the way out in Hawaii Kai.
That was her brother-in-law, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nani Castino was a famous hula dancer here.
Yeah.
Joe Castino.
So Bobby, where do you live in relation to where Jeff lives? Because I kind of have an idea where Jeff lives, but I don't know where you live, Bobby.
Well, right above, overlooking Pearl Harbor,
Oh, okay.
Air Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice and quiet.
Good.
Bobby, I was just I saw Hale Haku. couple weeks ago, we were talking about when you used to live in your old place. Sonny Kamahele would come by to say hello.
You got okay. The truth to that is, he used to come over. I didn't know that he lived down the street from me. You know, close to the river. So it's 5 o'clock one morning. It's Saturday morning, and my day off. So somebody's knocking on the door. I mean, like, so I thought it was somebody want to sell something, but I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So I just ignore it and I sleep in the parlor. Yeah? Kept on knocking like 10 minutes nonstop. So I'm all pissed off. I turn on the light and open the door. I said, "What?" And he said, "Oh, you were sleeping." I look at him. I mean, he said, "Oh, were you sleeping?" I thought that was so. I mean, I was pissed off, but I thought that was so funny of a line. I told him, "Get in this house." I made him some coffee and no, but um, really, really fun talking with the guy.
Hmm.
You ask him about on the Alfred Parker days, he tell you everything. Yeah, and yeah, so I told him, come over whenever you want to, cause he wouldn't call anyway. Yeah, so and the funny thing is, right down the street, Nuano Street, about say half a block, Walter Mookini lived in a building there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, Sonny used to come over and everything. One time I was playing that Harry Owens video.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So um when Sonny came over, I had a video set. So I put it on and he came in, have coffee, and he said, "What are you watching?" So I said, "Look really good." He said, "Hey, that's me. That's me when I was 19. Where you got this from?" So, yeah, kind of missed the guy too because he was about the last one. Him and Benny Kalama that was from the Alfred Parker's, band. Yeah.
Joe Castino played on Sonny's album too. That's a neat album. I think it's called I can't remember the title of the album. But there's a
Wait,
picture
wait. Is this a new the not too old a record? Yeah.
from the '60s.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that one. I heard Sonny's one. Yeah, he did one, and he
Oh,
was doing the D9 or F9 tuning or
yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
recently found that Harry Owens show on YouTube. So I sent the link to Sonny Kamahele's son, King Kamahele. So
Yeah, yeah.
be happy to see his dad. He said that his dad told him uh, he credits Harry Owens. Uh, well, Harry Owens had to fire him because he didn't read music. So he ended up learning how to read music because of that.
Who,
And
Sonny?
Sonny, yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, those are really, really good to watch because it was from that time when all the music was sweet like that.
I think Eddie Bush is the steel guitar player on those shows.
Eddie
Yeah.
Bush. And the funny one was Prince Kawohi. That guy's a character. Yeah, man. I remember when I first came from Lanai, 59. My dad took us Waikiki, and there was just every small club had steel guitar coming out from it. But back then, I didn't know nothing, yeah, but you could hear it. And by 1969, 1970, when I graduated, hardly,
Mm.
maybe had about 5 or 6. And like I tell everybody, they blame rock and roll, yeah. So this guy interviewed me one time on the radio. And he said, you blame rock and roll on everything. I said, it was the disc jockeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, man, I got shit from the disc jockeys, but who cares? They put out the old music, they pushed it out because ratings, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna come back. That's why, Jeff, you gotta start recording again, man.
Oh man, I don't know.
I tell you, man.
What are you
Tell
doing
you.
these days, Jeff? Are you playing any, are you playing any gigs any place or studio stuff or?
Here and there, just odd projects, but I've been teaching ukulele down at the hotel to the 2 or 3 people that show up. I think the hotels are still at, last week it was at 11% occupancy.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then before that, I was working for the census. That was probably one of the most interesting jobs I ever had.
What were you doing for the census?
Following up on all the people that didn't respond to the questionnaire. So a lot of people with anti-government sentiments.
Uh-huh.
Taking it out on you, it's great.
Did you show up with a gun and a badge and stuff?
Yeah, Jeff, do you have any plans to do any recordings in the next couple, whenever things go back to normal? Or are you working on any other projects, musical projects?
For myself, no. Maybe eventually, but the next one I'm going in the studio for is for Kuana Torres. He's doing another project, but other than that, no.
I really like your work on the Raiatea Helm recording. Yeah, and I like Bobby's work on that Raiatea Helm record too.
Yeah, we both played for her. Alan too, I think, played for her.
Oh yeah.
And Casey. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of steel players.
Have you had Casey on here? Or have you had a meeting with
No, no.
Yeah, you should get Casey.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Hewland's grandson. I mean, you got to get him on this.
Yeah.
Man.
He was around it since he was, toddler, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I was telling them last week, Jeff, it's good to see a lot of kids picking up the steel.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, steel never gonna die. Never.
Yeah, Joseph, how's your version of Once in a While coming? Is she still here?
Yeah, I'm just right on next to Jeff here. It's about non-existent right now since I'm busy catching up with all the holiday stuff going on. But get back on with that song
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so neat to have that pedal on the steel guitar. That's one of my favorite pedals, going from that 6, what is it? The 1 and the 6 to the 9 and the 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Advanced Terry who always got shit from for using that major 7 pedal all the time on like the Brisbane bop stuff. And I'm not blanking on Jesus, Jimmy, help me out, people. He's a guitar player. Jimmy Rivers on why are you using those major 9 chords? Stop that. Do you ever, what's that?
Too jazzy.
I guess so. You know, I mean, do you know that, have you checked out the Vance Terry's playing on like Brisbane Bop, that Western Swing album?
One of the best records I've got, period. that's such
Yeah.
great.
And he just like took his like little like his portable recorder and just set it down, I guess apparently like right next to his amp, but it captured the band really well. But down at the 23 Club in Brisbane, just south of San Francisco. And I don't know at this point, I mean, he might have been a banker at that, maybe he wasn't even really like a full-time musician. I don't know at that point, but I mean, his playing on that is just like, yeah, it's gotta be my favorite, probably my favorite Steel album, maybe one of my favorite albums. But it's just like that major 7 thing is just everywhere. You can see Jimmy Rivers just getting mad at him for playing all that.
What's the title of that album? I gotta check. I wanna check that out.
Just Jimmy Rivers, what is it? Brisbane Bop, I guess is the album.
Jimmy
There's
Rivers,
yeah, if you, I'll send you a link, Jeff. I can there's also there's a whole nother album that was never released. It wasn't like the audio quality, I guess, wasn't good enough or something, but it's got some alternate takes, and he does play, does he play the hukilau? Does he play? They kind of mess it up. They kind of played a really crazy version of it, but yeah, it's very off the cuff. I mean, they're just like, apparently this club was like, I used to play there, and they've still got the net on the ceiling, this big like fishing net. And the bartender had like a lever that they could pull that it would like drop onto the dance floor when the fights broke out. And like, you know, I mean, like the story was like Jimmy Rivers, when he got that gig, the guitar player, like he got there and the guys at the locals, like before he could get the gig, they had to go out back and they had to fight, and they kicked his ass. And then they're like, all right, now you're cool. You can play this gig. Yeah, super rough, man. But yeah, there's I'll send you a link to that. If anybody else doesn't have that, just shoot me a message. I'll send that to you.
But Jeff, you know, like I was telling a lot of people, there's too many purists, yeah, you know, and they cannot stand pedal steel. The thing about it is if something sounds good, it is good. So they just gotta relax. I mean, whether you play pedal or lap, you know, who cares? You know, it sounds good, it is good. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, man. And the good thing about the high G's, you can make swells, I mean, slants that you can fool people. I fool a lot of people in Winchester. You know, I would make a slant, and I would make like a stepping on something, and they look at my feet right away, and I said, "I got you guys, man." Yeah, nothing wrong with pedal steel, but you know, so many people are against it. You know, any instrument, if the guy can play it sweet, it belongs. That's my take on everything. You know.
I was watching I think was it Keaton Roberts? Does he bend
Oh yeah.
behind the bar? That's really cool.
Yeah. I tried that, but you gotta really practice, because the first time I tried that, my finger locked. You know, 'cause, you know, when you bend, you're not used to. But no, it is a cool thing. But I guess to get used to, you gotta keep on bending that string. Yeah, because the first time I tried that, you know, just like I had arthritis in my ring finger, man.
Yeah.
It wouldn't straighten out again. Hey, but you know what? Let's keep on doing this hangout, because I got some stories about Billy that Buddy told me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, funny stories. Yeah, they made the first pedal steel they owned. They made it. They gouged out a single neck string master on the bottom and put one pedal, because they couldn't afford a pedal steel. But you know what? Maybe in the future hangout, you know, we can talk about Feet, Gabby, and Barney, because I sat and talked with a lot of these people, but except Gabby, I never met Gabby. But when you get the story right from the source, there's a lot of funny stuff, man. But you never heard Buddy Hewland, yeah,
No, but
Jeff? Yeah. You see, he was like night and day. Billy was really feisty
hmm,
and always ready for a scrap. And Buddy was really mellow, just like his tone was really mellow. He played the A6, but totally night and day from Billy.
hmm,
But nice stuff. He played with the treble way, way down,
huh,
and Billy played with the treble way up. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So one hangout, we should talk about these old timers, man, because some of them was crazier than us, man.
Well, Jeff, do you want to? I know we've kept you a while. It's been over an hour, well
Oh,
over an hour now. But do you want to send us off with a recording or play something or words of wisdom for
yep.
life lessons? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hairstylist.
I'm sorry, what?
Hairstylist.
I know, geez. Haircut just hasn't been in the budget.
Yeah, just don't cut it.
But, trying to think of what else. Cyril Pahinui was my boss for about seven years until he passed, I guess, in 2000. 2 years ago he passed. But yeah, I would ask him about his dad, Gabby, who was an amazing steel player. And when I first met Uncle Cyril, I was playing a lot of single. I was just playing single note, I think. And he told me that his father told him what's going to set you apart is the ability to harmonize, or he said he called it playing chords. So that I should work on that, work on playing chords, because that's going to set you apart from other people, I guess. So that's when I started exploring that. But I love listening to recordings of Gabby playing steel, because he is. It's almost like he knows other steel players are listening to him, and he wants to mess with their minds. He's always reaching for something.
Yep.
Yeah. He always manages to grab something that leaves you scratching your head. But yeah, if you can get your hands on recordings of Gabby, I totally recommend that.
Yeah, and Jeff, you know that Mossman album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen real good. It is Gabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody hold chords on a steel like Gabby. Nobody.
Like he would do stuff like I don't know, play the, what is that when you play an E7 over a G7? 7 chord, like kind of a, what is that, like a flat? Was that a flat nine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard his version of "How'd You Do." I don't know if where maybe it's with the with Don Howe's band or something. Anyway, it's just like crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's really getting adventurous with it,
And according to Uncle Cyril, yeah, he he couldn't tell you what he was playing. Yeah, he was just purely by sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did Cyril ever tell you when the dad first heard him play steel guitar?
Yeah, he told him not. He told him stick to guitar.
Yeah, because he gave a string master to Cyril, and
Yeah.
then I guess Gabby heard on a little string in Singapore. And Gabby said, "You know one steel player, give me that back."
Yeah.
That's cold.
Hey, you know what? Old timers don't beat around the bush, man. But even Martin said the dad wanted to teach the sons, blah. I mean Martin, Cyril, he wanted to teach him steel, but Martin said he didn't want to now, after that he regretted, yeah. What people nowadays think it's cool, that was the rule before.
Yeah.
You do something wrong, they knock you out.
Yeah.
But
Well-
you're right about Gabby, Jeff. When he plays, you cannot figure out what he's doing, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I asked Uncle Cyril one time, why is his tone so different on all the different albums, like on the what is the instrumental album he did?
Oh, Kanikapila.
Kapila, yeah, it was the Mindless Serenaders.
Yeah,
That's-
Miley
It
Serenaders.
sounds like he has the string master with both pickups dialed in, and then
Yeah, yeah.
it's a big contrast to the Rabbit Island Music Festival in the Garden of Paradise. It's like he has a neck pickup off. He just complete treble. So I asked
Yeah.
Uncle Cyril, I said, "Oh, how come? Why is the tone so different?" And Uncle Cyril said, "Well, he's just like you guys. He like to try different sounds, Jeff." Makes sense.
You know the thing about old timers is I used to get really amazed. They would just plug in, turn on the amp, and whatever tone came out, they would use that tone. But that's why there was heads above everybody, man, because and what Martin told me was whenever Gabby, because I noticed some of his Slacky albums, the tuning is like a little bit sharp, a little bit flat. So Martin said if Gabby opened the case, whatever his guitar would be tuned to, the whole band would have to tune to him.
Yeah, no clip-on tunings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no clip-on tunes. Or you got to tune to the piano, right? Yeah. Should we play something?
Yeah, play something, man.
You back me up for one more? You should get in the shot, Joseph. I'd like to thank Joseph for setting this up. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Most
thank you,
definitely.
Joseph.
Thanks again.
He has all the
Rosie says hi, Jeff.
Hey, Rosie. How old is she now?
Almost 13.
Wow.
She's gray. She's pretty blind. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. You have to meet her in person. All of you then. Okay. Sure. All of you.
Jess. Yeah, Jess, you guys
Nice.
sound great together.
Need more coffee.
You guys remember we did that all together in my showcase at HSGA a couple years ago. And Joe, you sang that tune for us. Remember that?
I'm gonna forget.
Yeah,
I think there's video evidence of it somewhere.
I remember it.
That was a fun time. There was, Jim was there, Bobby was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope there's going to be more conventions.
Yeah, we're planning a virtual one, and I mean, I think we'll watch the virus, but I'm sure there'll be another one probably in 2022. I suppose we'll see. We'll see what next year brings, but there will be that virtual convention is happening in at the end of January. So that thing that I asked you about, that video that I asked you about, Jeff, a couple weeks ago, we're including that. So
Okay.
it'll be in there. So we'll get a couple of your tunes from, I think from 2014. That's the one that Bobby liked so much. He told us all about that last week. So. Great. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, Jeff.
Any other questions I mean.
Any other hobbies than music?
Surfing.
Say it again.
Surfing.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So this pandemic's been a blessing. I've been going surfing every day.
Yeah, you met one of my grandnephews out there.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, he joined the National Guard. So, yeah.
So he was telling us. It's funny because the whole pandemic we've been surfing together, and I had no idea that was your grandnephew. He even told the surfboard that he's using. He even said his grandfather gave him the surfboard.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good in water, so I just stick to dry land. Yeah, Jeff, don't you think they should bring back the steel guitar to Waikiki? I tell you, it's in so bad need of good music, the whole of Waikiki.
I think it'll come back. I mean,
Yeah, like everything, good things take time, That's all they gotta get steel guitar back in Waikiki, and it's gonna happen, man. But the thing is, most of the club want you to play for next to nothing. You should open a club, Jeff, and we just play just for the sake of playing, man, getting good music back.
I remember you and I playing on the Kalakaua Avenue.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Until the police shut it down, right?
Yeah.
Had no amplification.
Yeah. First he told me no electricity, so I told him this is battery powered, and he told me don't get smart. And then I told the guy, across the street there's a guy slamming on the drums, there's a couple playing steel drums, and there's a guy, playing ukulele selling his CDs.
Yep.
And then I said, and then I made a wise remark, like, well, it wasn't a wise remark. I told a cop, I cannot believe I'm playing Hawaiian steel and I'm getting kicked out of Waikiki. I said, what you gonna do next if I come back? Shoot me.
Maybe the cop had a bad experience with steel guitar.
Well, yeah, just like Ala Moana, you remember? When we started playing at Ala Moana Shopping Center?
Oh yeah, we got kicked out of there too. That's right.
Yeah. And then later on, the worker who told us to stop, he felt so bad. He came up to me and he said, we don't have nothing against you. It's my boss. he's a musician who tried to make it but never made it. But we was drawing this crowd, yeah. I mean, big crowd.
I remember that was just when I was just starting. I was
Yeah,
just
we,
I met you.
yeah. My mom still get the newspaper clipping of that. We was playing a Bakelite.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day we should just do that. Just set up. In fact, it's legal to play by the Duke Hanamoku statue, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we should just play this. Just play this steel guitar music in Waikiki. I mean, well, maybe until the cops show up. Yeah, man, I wish Billy, Barney, and all of them was, I know they're listening from up there, but I wish they was around now to hear you play, brother. Oh man.
Can you imagine having those guys on Zoom?
Oh man.
Being able to pick their brains. Oh my god.
We'd be drinking a lot more probably though, right?
And there would be a whole bunch of cuss words because to them there was, regular talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear more stories about those guys at some point, but I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
they must have learned in a totally different way,
Yeah.
I imagine none of them, I mean, did they have teachers or they just learned it like they were inventing a lot of that stuff too, so.
Yeah, and then like I was telling you guys, the lessons was free. Yeah? When a steel player would be playing,
Mm.
you listen and you watch. Lot of old timers learn like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when Jerry Bird came into town, that's when Barney Isaacs teamed up with him, and they started teaching at St. Louis High School.
Probably read that.
Yeah, but yeah, the old way of learning, I guess. They played for you, and it was up to you to learn to use your ears and your eyes. Not like nowadays they got a lot of access, on the internet. But that's why a lot of Ellen's students, I tell them to watch and listen to, because it's the only way you're going to come up with your own sound, your own style, when you figure out things on your own. But you teach them how, watch and listen.
Yeah.
Because every steel player plays different.
Yeah, and those guys must have been playing all the time, like
Oh,
their
yeah.
gigs and then late into the night, and just at each other's houses all the time, just
Yeah.
total immersion all the time.
Like what Barney told me was when almost every club, every big hotel had steel guitar music. When you would get finished on your gig, you would hop right over to the next hotel and sit in.
Yeah.
And Feet and Gabby used to work for the city and county, so they would get their job over really fast, and then go park someplace and bring out the barbecue and start playing. It was like all over the place, steel guitar before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jeff said, he's gonna come back, man. He's gonna come back. Has to come back to that.
Of rushing around to your gig, this Party Hula's album, there's Hawaiian Kikahuna.
Yeah,
She wasn't that tall, and she played this Epiphone.
yeah, like yours, something like yours.
And I've heard stories of her. It was just one gig after another, and there are stories of her seeing her speeding out of the hotel with. She wouldn't even take the guitar off. She'd just throw it behind her and then jump in the driver's seat and drive off to the next hotel with this Epiphone guitar.
Oh, beautiful.
And I heard stories of Lina Machado they would be rehearsing because one of the dancers used to live by us in Palama, and the hula dancer kept on making mistakes. She would bust the ukulele on top of their heads. But like I said, that's old style, man.
Yeah, that's no exaggeration.
Yeah,
Just about every hula teacher I think bashed people over the heads with either the ipu gourd or the ukulele.
yeah, old style.
Yeah.
Was there, Bobby, was there any, do you remember any steel on Lanai when you were growing up, when you were young there?
No steel players. Lanai mainly had all Filipino music
Mm.
because majority of Lanai was Filipino, Japanese, and Chinese plantation workers. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I heard a lot of mandolin. Yeah, the only steel guitar I heard was, like I told you, when I heard Sleepwalk on the radio, and something told me, man, that's something real different, you know. And then when we came to Waikiki, oh, that's when I heard steel guitar. I saw a lot of steel guitar, you know, being played, and I used to watch that and think, nah, that's too hard.
Was
Yeah,
Sleepwalker, was that the C sharp minor tune?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But I had no idea what tuning was. So when I started, I had a straight C6, so I just learned it on there.
Ah.
Yeah, but it sounds much better. Any song recorded in a certain tuning sounds good on that tuning.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because on a C sharp minor, it sounds more deep because you're playing like on the plain strings mostly. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah, I think Don Sweatman, the guy from Staten Island, the one did Mike Scott's and My Frying Pan with the black crinkle finish. Yeah, he told me about David Kelly, and he actually got has a recording, but I have to find that cassette tape. I don't know if I loaned it to you or something, but it's a garage party in 1944 or 1947 in Virginia of Don Sweatman and a whole bunch of guys all drunk playing Hawaiian music, and David Kelly is using a 6-string fry pan. Oh
Oh,
man, I gotta look for that because yeah, that's like the most unreal playing I heard from him.
I never heard that one. Wow.
You know, I just gotta find, yeah, I just gotta find the cassette. I don't know. I hope I didn't
Hi, Cody.
erase it, man. And when you hear David on 6 strings, I can see why a lot of the old timers started complaining when David moved to a triple 8 string because the things he do on a 6 string is like out of this world, man. And I guess he was like Gabby was like him. They would find chords on their own because when they play chords, like you said, it messes with your mind. You think, wait a minute, I thought they was using this tuning, tune couple strings. No, now it's different. You know.
My favorite album of David Keeley is the George Kainapau, Dreams of Hawaii. I think that's just the most prettiest steel
Wait,
playing behind
what
the
album is what album is that?
Dreams of Hawaii. I think it's a compilation of singles. Uh,
Oh, send them to me. I never heard of
yeah.
that
Oh, you gave me that. That's one of the first albums you gave me.
album.
But you gave it to me on a cassette. But it's
What?
do you have that album?
With George Kainapau.
Just a second.
Hey, but Jeff, thanks for that steel guitar show from 1980s. I was at that show, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
uh,
never thought I would hear it again, man.
with
With all the guys, Billy Hugh Land, Barney Isaacs,
oh yeah,
Ayala, Young Alan Akaka, Herbert Hanawahili. Yeah, what I still don't remember what album you're talking about, George Kaina Powell.
It's they overdubbed all these seagulls and yeah, this one. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh yeah.
Shucks. Oh, lost it.
Oh no, I never saw that before.
Yeah,
Is it David
Is that
Kaliki
David,
on
is
the,
David on steel?
David on steel. Yeah.
Wow, send him to me.
Akoni Lani? Is that stuff David Kaliki also?
Yeah, David Kinney also. Well, not all the tracks. Some of it is Danny Stewart, I think.
Oh,
You can hear the difference between.
Yeah, what kind of steel was Danny Stewart using on that? It's got this big, fat, round sound to it.
I don't know. I've only seen a photograph of him playing a magnetone. Not the double pickup one, but the short
Still
scale,
going.
the triple neck. I mean the triple. It has 3 legs.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know, the combination of his steel and his amp that's got this really fat, compressed sound. I mean, both I was wondering, I was like,
Yeah, he played a string master too, Sonny told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them had string masters because, well, it's like in Japan, a lot of steel players, when they're on stage, the string master looks, like it matches the matching uniform and it's really nice, Yeah, a lot of them own string masters.
actually, speaking, I do have another gear question about string masters and magnetones. Do you guys know, does anybody know what Jules was really playing on those Top of Room tapes? Or on some of those, like, or even on the studio albums that they did?
Oh, look, Sonny told me there's sometimes on the Top of Room, when Jules would be in a good mood, he would bring 3 double necks. Okay, put one in the front of him, one on the right side, and one on the left side, all different tunings, and play every tuning in one night.
Wow.
That's crazy. Because I asked Sonny the same question. He said his favorite was the magnetone.
To my ears, that the Top of Room sounds like the magnetone. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really warm sounding. I mean, I've heard that you can hear it on that live Hawaii Call stuff where he plays Red Sails in the Sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't he introduce Webley, or so he introduces him as playing his magnetone or something on his triple neck or his double? Yeah. But God, that sound on that is so good.
Yeah.
And really kind of bizarre single notes. Not bizarre, but just like very kind of getting pretty kinky with it. He's not like, he's like, I mean, that's bold to play like that on a live gig, like, such a commercial kind of gig.
Well, another thing, like a lot of those players was really bold because Barney told me the thing about Billy Ulan was he was known as the gutsiest player. So I asked Barney why you say that. So Barney said Billy would find cards on stage during a gig. That's gutsy.
Learn while you earn.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get one hang out and talk about the old timers, man. I tell you.
Well, guys, I can leave this open. I should probably go feed my kids. They're going to start revolting soon if I don't take them. But anyway, I just want to say to everybody who came, thank you so much. And Jeff, thanks a lot for your time and for sharing your knowledge of the instrument. And of course, like all the great music you play.
Thank you.
It's very inspiring to all of us steel nerds out there in the world.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And Joe, thanks again for setting that up. Like, we had an amazing run this December, like really high profile artists. I don't think that we can keep that cadence. And but really forward to next year. And definitely one thing of great thing about the pandemic was actually that we kind of formed this hangout, and I'm super happy doing it, and really, yeah, love is always one of my highlights, like during this month or whatever.
Yeah, like they say, there's a good side to everything, man.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Actually, I'm glad you found a fry pan. I remember when you were in Hawaii, you were looking for one. I think,
Yeah,
right?
I was going on your nerve and on Bobby's nerves all the time. It's like, yeah, I actually got one. It's like, finally found one. It's from Retro Fred in New York. It popped up, and it's a 50s long scale.
Oh, man.
So really happy. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And Keith, do you have is yours a 50s long scale, or is this?
Yeah, I
Party.
have. Yeah, it's the same one as Sebastian. Yeah, it's got a solid neck on it.
Does it have that sort of non-slip stuff on the back of the neck too? Because I've seen others. I just noticed that on yours too, Sebastian.
Yeah, it's gold. It's kind of golden.
Is it kind of a rough?
It's a
Like
little
a
bit rough. Yeah. But I think it's a lacquer. Yeah.
Huh.
It doesn't have that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it won't slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are those the Choi, the Richard Choi frying pans?
Say it again.
Are those, you know, the Richard Choi, the Banjo King, who had a store in Honolulu, and he was supposedly the only guy licensed to sell Rickenbackers or something like that.
Well, actually, Jeff, you know how you can tell the Richard Choice?
Yeah.
The decal that he put on used to look different from the decal that Rickenbacker used.
Huh.
Yeah, if you get a hold of Kamaka, he has one of the frying pans that Richard Troy did, and his one is like the decal looks so different, you know, and his has a flat neck with a plexiglass on it, which looks really stupid, but you know, the sound is there, you know. Yeah, Jeff, it's a good thing you didn't meet Richard Troy. Oh boy.
I heard he was kind of I don't know.
I mean, yeah, his shop. I went in his shop, I guess just before he passed away, and I looked inside, but he didn't have. He had a couple 6 strings, so I told him. He said, "Hey, what you looking for?" You know, really rough talking. I said 7 string. Why you need 7 for? You needed 6. You know, you guys. And I just walked out. I already had a fry pan, so. But I have no idea who got all his collection. Yeah, he was a mean old salty dog.
Dwight Tokumoto has good stories about him too. I think he used to go hang out at his store or something.
Yeah. You heard that he played with Louis Armstrong, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the Banjo King, yeah. that was his, I guess his motto. Yeah, he was the Banjo King.
Not the Banjo King, yeah, the banjo.
Well, you never know. Maybe in Japan he was known as the Banjo King.
Joe wa doko desu ka?
He speaks Japanese.
Biru kudasai. Those are the only 2 things I know.
Well, the only thing I know in Japanese, you know, everybody asks me, "You were at Tamashiro Market for so long. You can say something in Japanese." I said, "I can say something in Okinawa." And they said, "What?" I said, "Tamashiro."
That's good.
Oh, I didn't know that was Okinawan. I just learned something today.
Yeah, Tamashiro was Okinawan.
You know.
Yeah.
I think if I have any questions.
Oh yeah, I got a question. Oh yeah, you know that black 7-string fry pan I got back from you, I took off all that finish, man.
Oh, the Don Sweatman.
Yeah, it was too. It never dried right. You know, it was always sticky. You notice that. So
Okay.
I tended to bill, and you know,
I thought it was a
I took off
humidity, man. Yeah.
Bill Kreller.
yeah, Bill Krella, yeah, he does a good job. But Jeff,
Hmm.
just don't ever let go of that pool number one, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, when Bill Krella would repair one, he would heat up the whole body and then weld it. But you cannot do that with that one. What one of my friends, when you're ready to fix it, he can use like resin or even bakelite to make the hole smaller so the screw would fit. Yeah, because something that good sounding, you cannot heat them up and repair them because you're gonna change the whole
Yeah.
the composition of the metal. Yeah.
I have a question for all the Tricone owners. A couple of years ago, I dropped my Tricone, and there's a huge dent in the side. How would you go about? Would you just pound it out, or what's? I wish I had it here to show you, but it's like a golf ball sized.
Golf ball, not a
No,
soft.
bigger than a golf ball, softball sized.
Jeff,
Yeah.
you remember when I first got my Tricone? It was
Yeah.
so beat up. Just get in touch with Doug Smith because Doug Smith
Smith.
he works with National.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah, and that's who redid my Tricone. Because my Tricone, when I first got it, the face was like caved in because the owner told me his sister-in-law got pissed off at him, this big Hawaiian lady, and sat on the thing. And mine had a big dent in the side, like I mean, real big dent, and I guess they pounded out there with a slide hammer or something. But yeah, National would do the best repair job for that.
Because otherwise,
Just get in touch with
I was
Doug
going
Smith.
to an auto body shop or something. I don't know who else.
No,
Just put some Bondo on.
Bondo, yeah, Bondo.
hey, you take it to an auto body shop, I tell you, it would come back like metallic tangerine or something.
Drill a hole in to pull the dent out.
No, really, get in touch with Doug Smith because he knows he knows them really good. In fact, in the national book, is Doug Smith is one of he create the on the credits. Yeah. So yeah, Tricone is such a fun instrument to play, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Does it still sound good, or does the dent affect the sound?
Yeah, no, it sounds fine. So more than I'd say.
Is the dent on your side or the audience side?
No, it's on the audience side.
Of course.
I was doing a strolling gig, going table to table. So I had the strap, and I was just starting to put it on, and the auntie I was working with, Auntie Elaine Spencer,
Oh yeah.
whose album Billy Hewland played on, said, "Hurry up, we gotta start. Pull it. Let's pray." She always gives a prayer before we start. Hold my hands. So I held her hands, and the truck went to the ground, and I couldn't catch she was gripping my hand, so I couldn't grab grab.
But Auntie Elaine's voice is louder than a Tricone.
She's holding my hands, and she looked up at me like, "Is that supposed to happen?" Oh man, I was sick.
Is that the one you bought here in Seattle?
Yeah, I got a Dusty Strings.
Yeah. Right.
Strings with a 10% sales tax. Couldn't believe it.
Yep.
Hey, you know what, Jeff? There's a bookstore in Seattle called Dusty Strings, I think.
Bookstore too.
Yeah, called Dusty Strings, because last year when I played at Jazz Alley, Seattle,
Yeah.
these two guys came and he wanted to talk to me, and he said, "Oh, we want you to come to our bookstore, Dusty Strings." I think that's the name, and play there. But we got too busy. Yeah.
The music it's a musical instrument store mostly.
Oh yeah.
Dusty Strings. Yeah. Yeah. But they do little showcase concerts there sometimes too.
Yeah.
And you always pay full price for stuff there.
Yeah, I saw.
But Jeff, I gotta tell you, brother. Thank you for picking up the steel, cause brother, you're the king, bro.
Oh,
Thank you.
man. No worries,
Woo, I tell you.
thank you, Bobby. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, man.
I would be completely lost if I hadn't met you by chance.
But yeah, at the airport.
Yeah, at the airport, I was telling them about you had your tricone.
Yeah.
And that was before it was fixed up. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Before it was fixed up, man.
it's all beat up.
Really, really bad shape. And the headstock was straight already. It was coming out, yeah. But when you think about it, that's like the first steel guitar, man.
Mhm.
So just to have one like that.
Sebastian, is that a National behind you?
It is, yeah. It is actually the one that I use for the videos and everything. It's a one from 31.
Oh, mine's a 31 as well.
It's like the same. It's the birth, the year of birth of my mother. So it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
like same age.
It's a style one.
It's style one, yeah, it's totally. But it was really, really good condition. It's like no dent, nothing. It's a little bit rusty here, but that's about it. And the cones were really shit when it arrived. So nice. So I think Mikia definitely has to feed his kids. I have to go to bed now.
Oh,
totally awesome meeting you guys, and I will put the recording on YouTube, so if somebody missed it, they can check it out. And yeah, thanks everybody involved again. Aloha.
Thank you for
Yeah,
organizing.
thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah, and talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Yeah, and Jeff, make me a recording of the George Kaina Power one.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, let's do more of these hangout, man. I tell you.
Yeah, Bobby, it'd be great to see you on more of these. We'll try to, we'll make sure maybe through Joseph that we always make sure you're on the Facebook page. So we can,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, actually, Facebook book. No, I just
Facebook.
Is that beyond the reef, beyond the reef?
Yeah, beyond the relief.
All right.
Okay.